Hey, you know that this weekend is the anniversary of those Alpine shows in '89 that they released. The Dead that they released is "It's All Downhill from Here," and that may well describe this show tonight.
I'm not going to argue with you. We're going to take some heat tonight. I think we're going to take some punches from some people, but that was a not my favorite show. Not weird my favorite show.
It was a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know, Kev. I mean, yeah, I don't know. What do you think was going on there? I mean, it was an interesting way to open a 3-night run in Chicago after just playing 2 spectacular shows in Philly. So I don't know. We've been calling people have been kind of calling a letdown show and an off show, and I would not say that happened tonight.
I think that let's pull it up. I think that Trey threw himself off by opening with Hood. Such energy, you're like, man, this is either going to be the best show of the tour, or it is going to be
radio knows what's up,
or it's going to be a complete train wreck. And
oops,
I mean, solid Hood. Yeah. The last time a Hood opened was Moon Palace in 23, so it isn't. It does happen. I think before that was 18, maybe before that was 10. There was a point in late 90s when it happened quite often. It's interesting, but Hood really, I think, thrives off the end of a second set when everyone's just wired and, you know.
What's up, dude? Welcome. Good to see you, man. Sorry, that's my boy. What's up? You've met him, Kev. I agree. Yes. Kev, keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no. So, you know, there we are with that. They opened up with it, and
I think what you were saying, though, what I'm gonna go off on with you here is when you open with Hood, you set an expectation, right? Like you kind of lay that out there, and I mean, everywhere, all the chats, everybody was like, "Oh, this is gonna be big. This is a special show. Like we're opening with a Hood." And I even texted you. I was like, "This is where you drop a tweezer or a harpua in the 2 slot and make this something that we're all gonna be like, oh shit, Friday night in Chicago, yes." No, like decent Hood to open, fantastic, like whatever. I agree with you in that it's a little too blissy and mellow in the 1 slot. Like I kind of like it later where I need that come down and then the peak up. So kind of like when you wake up in the morning and you're a little tired and you're still a little tired after your coffee, that's kind of how that I felt like after that Hood. That's why I was like, what's next? Like, come on, let's go. And Oblivion. I
like the jam in it. It's just, I don't know about it coming off the Hood.
I don't know about it in the 2 slot. That it was just a weird 11 minutes. It kind of tried to get out there like a 12-minute over with Hood, which is what Hood is. So that doesn't surprise me that it went 12. It should. Oblivion at 11 though, that was not a great 23 minutes when you look back on it and be like, okay, like that was I don't know. It just did not quite open it for me the way I was hoping it was going to do. So yeah, and then you get heavy things.
Would you say it was a good half hour if you threw in heavy things?
No, I would not.
Cheesecake.
In fact, I would say that was of all of the yes, no, not.
I tell you what. I tell you what. Heavy Things is a really solid song in and of itself as just an artifact. If you go back, it's probably one of the strongest cuts on the Farmhouse album. It doesn't always translate live, and they were rusty. It was one thing when they were playing it all the time, you know?
Yes, completely. It's one you need to play more if you're gonna just drop it in there. So
definitely. Bathtub Jen, great in the middle there, nice jam, kind of salvage things. You know, they started pull it back together. Old Reliable. Jen always has good.
This is where the set started getting good for me. I was like, all right, Jen, because I was thinking about the last Jen that we had that was such a ripper at 9 minutes and just contained itself in that 9-minute box and shredded it. And I was like, all right, this one, because of where it's going to be placed, we can get that expanded 5 minutes that we wanted, that we usually want out of a Jen. And we got that. And it felt like, okay, now where are we going to go? Like we're settling into where I thought we would be at this point. Just took us a lot rougher of a road to get here.
All right, we got some tequila. We got some Dave's Energy Guide in there. The thing though is, you feel bad when you're like, and Trey's like all smiles. He's like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Totally. I know. We say that all the time. It's like he'll do like when he did Mercy the other night, and then was like up there having a blast doing like and you're like, man, how can it's so hard to give him shit for that and be like, oh, you fucked it up, Trey. But that's what we're here for, right, Kev? We're here to critique it.
Right. We're here to do the Pee Wee Herman.
That's it. And I think he also had, what was the other one I told you that Scott Marks had noted that there was a Gladiators entrance of the Gladiators tease from Page and Gen 2. So,
which, if you don't know, entrance of the Gladiators is what was used for the original secret language that was just within the band and not the Simpsons signal and all that. But that's how they ended up doing.
Right.
I think they called it the Charlie Chan single, but it's the same song. On your way down, fantastic. 522 shows. You couldn't see the rust on this one, and they let it breathe. They got into the slow groove. I am all pluses on Page singing the blues songs, bringing back Jesus Left Chicago. I know that isn't some people's cup of tea, but I felt like this really shined.
I couldn't agree more with you. I'm going to be a dick and complain and say Fat Man in a Bathtub here would have been primo Phish to just throw it in after Jen would have been great, but this was awesome. Like this was shocking to hear. I'm a lot like shocking to hear. You're like, wait, what? Where are we going with this? Like, fuck yeah. More little feet. And that's the second one we've got. So I don't know what that means, but I'm here for it. I love it. It's fantastic. And yes, to your point, after that Jen, it felt like they had finally, like we had said, got somewhere, and letting this sort of expand out and breathe and have that like bluesy feelish to it, like that Jesus Love Chicago had, because of that Page vocal in it. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, I would love to hear Time Loves a Hero again. Still. It's a great song in and of itself. I'm a huge Little Feat guy, so one of the most exciting things when I was 17 is that they got back together with the lead singer from the Average White Band as their guy who was replacing Lowell George. And I think I went and saw him twice on that first tour there.
Yeah.
Let It Roll, I guess, was the album. Limb by Limb was fantastic. It's been getting some play over the past couple years, once, twice a tour, 3-4 times a year. And I think that's enough to keep that in muscle memory.
Well, that's the thing. It's Fishman at his finest to me. Like that is Fishman, top of the mountain, doing epic drum work back there. I told you this backstage. I think he was the MVP tonight. What he did after this song, he was in every one of those jams, especially in the second set. You could focus on Trey and Page all you want because it was easy to do that in some of those jams. And even Mike had something to say tonight with some of that. But man, Fishman was just laying it down tonight. It was so good. Exactly. And this is where it began. And we talked about on the Discord about how Trey, originally wrote this on the drum machine and then challenged Fishman to learn it. And he did by using all 4 of his limbs. And that's how it became Limb by Limb. And it's just the most spectacular drum work.
Do you know what a Chinese wall is?
What, Kev? Give us more history.
In real estate, if the same broker, if 2 agents work for the same broker and on either side of a deal, you have to have a Chinese wall between them so they cannot communicate about the deal, and so they can best represent their clients. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything in that song? I guess they're referring to the Great Wall of China, but I think that somebody didn't understand what a Chinese wall was when they wrote that lyric. Anyway, I digress.
I see. That's 2 history lessons from Kev tonight, everybody. I mean, that is worth the price of admission right there. You got the signal and you got a little Chinese wall info. Come on. No smegma from us tonight. We are good. Go ahead, Kev. What do you got?
I was going to say, hey, stranger. I'm surprised that people aren't saying that like people used to say, hey, now, in Deadlot. People are going, hey, stranger.
Hey, now.
I like the song. I mean, you just got to deal with the lyrics.
You don't like them? You're not a fan
I
of them?
don't like the verse. I like the chorus. I've said before. I wish that
Okay.
it just had the chorus. Like
Okay.
it was a minimalistic funk thing that only had 3 or 4 lines in the whole thing.
Yep. Nice catch, Tyler. Exactly. I like it. I like the tray. I like it in this spot. I like where he put it tonight. I thought it worked really well there, setting up the end of the set, coming after the work in Limb by Limb. So I liked it. I don't really, I don't know. I don't mind the lyrics as much as you don't. And I think like the chorus I like enough to like bypass the rest of that song, but I think it's a fun song. I really like it. It's in there. And we'll talk about Going Through Your Mind in the next set and how awesome that one has become. But this is for new stuff that's brought into it. I'm all for it being played more and being one of those that can replace something else that was new-ish, maybe. So
no, it would have been a lonely trip in 21.
Right. So I'll gladly take this over a lot of those things that we would talk about. So
yes. Exactly. Character Zero, the classic arena rock anthem. Good for them. I like Character Zero.
Yeah, bring it. Close the set with it. Like you know what I mean? It's unreal. Like it's just that it's not an antelope, it's not a fluff, it's not that, but it's the rocker to close the set. And it's not like it's different too than like a Walls or like Wave of Hope too, that gives you that massive jam, you know, that like builds and just drives it home to get off the set. This one is a lot more of just, I prefer it more when we talk about it to close the show in the second set, because it leaves you so hungry for the encore and puts you right into that position until he comes out and does like Life Beyond a Dream or something, and you're like, oh man, he set it up with Zero to give me that. But you'll take it at the end of the first set, especially after this set, because it was just such a weird up and down set anyway. So yeah.
So
there you go. John thinks the lyrics of Hey Stranger are awesome. Kev.
It was a serviceable set, I guess.
I would almost, if it wasn't for the bust out and the gin in there and that Limb by Limb, I would say less than serviceable. You're right. It just hits the serviceable line.
It hits the serviceable mark. So I was talking the other day, someone was saying you only have, we'll say you only have to listen to 4 minutes of the song to get to the jam, right? But I was thinking, I was watching the Grateful Dead. I'll throw it back to the Downhill From Here because I watched it the other day. It was the anniversary. And I like every song. Anyway, I don't have to wait through the 4 minutes of the song to get to the jam because I honestly, but Hunter and Garcia.
I responded to your tweet. I responded to your skeet about that today, though. And I was like, just get me all the way through Sugar Mags. I don't even just get me through that song. Oh, that's one of those that gets on that.
Where's the Travis's bad takes banner there? If you're watching later. If you're watching later and you made it this far and the bad takes weren't that bad, like, subscribe. And we'll be back tomorrow night with more of the same. All right,
Dave, I dropped a 10 after Philly because I went 0 for whatever, but I think I got 3 tonight if my picks went in right and I'm remembering correctly. So I should be moving up that leaderboard. Anyway, go ahead, Kev.
Moving on up. We at set break, when the members hang, we were all, I think, in agreement, everybody watching and us, that No Man's was coming tonight, and solid entry to come out. I think it's a really great set opener, and when they give it enough time to breathe like they did tonight, I'm all right. I'm good with that one.
I was shocked we didn't get the Ruby Waves tonight that we also thought was coming. I was really looking forward to being in that Prison of Limes tonight, but I think we'll get it this weekend still. It's coming. So also we're definitely making Prison of Limes t-shirts on the Wook Plus site soon. So watch for those. No Man's fantastic. Well, yeah, Greg, you not watched this before? Like, that's kind of a thing. No Man's great opener. It could have closed that first set like we were just talking about with what goes in there, but great way to open it. It gets it going. And at 15 minutes, you started to get that jam. And again, Fishman, this second set was just so solid. If you go back and listen to a lot of those drums in this thing, but that first level jam that we got into when this thing kind of first started jamming was such a great little first level jam. And then all of a sudden it just sort of like slowed down and took off in this complete different direction. We got those great synths from Page, and then Mike started laying in the bass a little bit. So it really set the tone for kind of these first 3 songs of this set. I thought it was fantastic.
The What's Going Through Your Mind. This song may have the best batting average of any Phish song out of the box. Now we only have maybe 10 versions, maybe not even that many in, so remains to be seen. But about 12 minutes into the go ahead.
No, but even with that sample size, you're not looking at any real stinkers in there. Like even if it's 10, you're like 9.5 out of a 10 on all. Like there's not one where you're like, oh yeah, this song crushes. I mean I love it, and it was a sweet little drop into it. I thought too, the way they segued into it was a fun little segue. And this one just, again, you had that Page, like I said before, you had that Page and Trayness going on. But if you really listen, Fishman just driving the car in that one. It was like at the 14 to 16 minute mark of that song, when that jam started going into that faster Page Trey jam, and then it started slowing down and got a little pretty. Fishman was the one in that 14 to 17 minute zone that just really took over and like drove us where we were going. It was so fun because I was trying to concentrate on Page and Trey because they were kind of leading. I was like, oh, this is great. But Fishman just blew it away. It was fantastic. Fantastic.
When you see spelling mistakes, Jason, it's because of I'm dyslexic. I'm sorry. I don't even notice because those letters are just moving around.
And I don't proofread. So, that's just how it goes. That's part of our so that's a drink, right? Every time Kev misspells something, it's a drink. That's a drink. And then, but Finn Kev, that 17 minute mark, because that was like right before we got into that peak. And man, Mike and what he was doing with that bass, building it into that peak with Phish, I thought it was just spectacular. And that was such a beautiful peak we hit with that thing. It was another great version of it. Another fantastic version.
Right. You were talking about when they slowed down, almost sounded like a slow mountain jam. And they really rode that, which I appreciate. You don't be too eager. Let it go. And then Trey started double timing it and went into that Isabella Band of Gypsies kind of jam. I mean, I thought for sure a Hendrix song was going to drop out of that.
You nailed it. You nailed it with your scheme. Nailed that. Like Power of Soul. That was totally what I had. Like that's what I heard. I thought they were going to like tease it out a little more, like he did with the Macarena the other night. I thought he'd kind of go into it and maybe give us a little bit of it. Maybe we'll get some Hendrix this week, and maybe that was a little tease, a little warm up to some Jimmy.
And then just fantastic though. I am so excited to see where this song goes in the future, and I hope that they never lay it down in the studio. I hope it's like a Mike's groove, that it only ever exists in
completely
live.
I can make up rules as we go, man. This is our show. I can tell you guys to drink. Like
I'm gonna have to dig up the original rules from the lot. Drinking.
We had an original drinking game for everybody. Jason probably remembers it. He's probably holding the old school one still in here.
Kevin answers his own question.
Right. Radiators, always the radiators. That one will always live on.
Kevin says radiators. That's it. That's Crosseyed was great. Trey was doing very early on. He went into like Adrian Ballou mode and was doing this angular weird thing before they were even out of the actual song proper.
Completely.
My favorite Crosseyed of the past few years. It might not be the longest. It isn't like that one that went in and out a couple things, but I felt like it was a complete statement in and of itself.
The way he was singing it too at the beginning, he was really leaning into it tonight. I thought more so than he usually does, like really. And I think they had his vocals up a little bit too, because it sounded really, really good. But I felt like he was really giving a little bit extra mustard on some of those, the way he emphasizes some of that stuff. And it was great. And yeah, again, this jam, this opening 3 songs just dominated compared to the first set's opening 3 songs. Like this is what
fantastic hour of music.
Yeah,
really. And that's what they've been doing. The first 3-4 songs, whatever, of the second sets, the first hour have all been fantastic. And then lately, Trey's just been crapping out, rolling 7s or whatever for the rest of the set. And I love Farmhouse. They were laughing at me one year in Denver because when I was sitting down for most of the set. When they did Farmhouse, I stood up. And everyone's like, really? That's the one you're going to
That's the one that gets you up? A donor rap tease in there. Really, Slap? Where? You tell me where. I will look that up. I'll send it to Makita and see, or I'll send it to Scott
Llama.
Marks and see if he'll put it in there. And Llama, yeah, send it to Llama. He would be the one that would know for
get
sure.
Llama to get evidence.
Right.
Like clips to match it up.
Totally. And that way when Scott's on, we'll be like, hey, listen to this and tell me if we can like throw a donor rap tease in there. Totally. Love it.
Oh, that's fantastic. I miss Light. I totally so
you were lights out for Light, honestly.
Yeah, I laid down on the couch for Farmhouse, and then when I opened my eyes back up, they were playing backward down the number line, and I was like, wow, they did like a 15-minute Farmhouse, and no.
Light was a serviceable Light. It didn't really get that song. That's one of my piss break songs.
Is that a former glory? Is it ever going to reach its former glory? Because the one year in Denver was fantastic.
Yeah. And then and twice at Dick's, we had the one that's the epic one, but then they played another one not that long ago that was really, I don't know if it ever will. Usually that jam always is good. Even at 9 minutes, it still had that box to work within and got there with it. It just, that song, it's serviceable unless it goes beyond those boundaries. Otherwise, it's just kind of that filler in there and I thought this was another one of those rough stretches, like Farmhouse, Light, Numberline. I thank God for the Cavern at the end, but the Light it was all right. But after, I guess you need cooldowns after that hour of what we just got. So I get it. And it worked in the set list.
You take a breath and you pick back up. You
hope that's what you hoped Light would do, would like pick up and go that 14-15 minutes and be that extra little mustard on it like you like to get a lot of times. But no, you didn't get that this time. And because you got that Numberline and then you got the Cavern slammed in at the end. So
Cavern is a top tier song. Just incredible lyric. Fun. You don't know what the hell they're talking about. The shoes.
It's pure Phish.
I told my kid when she was graduating, my oldest, I was, they have parents put stuff in the yearbook. I was like, I'm going to put whatever you do, take care of your shoes. She's like, don't, please. Don't do that to me.
Don't fish my yearbook, Dad. don't
it was like, it's good advice, baby. No, it's good advice. So
I don't know, Light in a Numberline, you kind of skip Numberline, but at 7 minutes, that song is a furious 7 minutes. Once you get through, multitudes. Yeah. And which is nice about it though, because it can do that job once you get through the lyrics. Mm-hmm. Like I joked on Discord, Mike said, like, if you didn't go to the bathroom during Farmhouse, I was like, dude, you had plenty of time to go to the bathroom between Farmhouse and Cavern in that set, like easily. But Numberline, that again, it shreds in the short amount of time, or it can go way out there. So it was kind of funny that they put two songs that can be bigger jam vehicles into those smaller boxes tonight and back to back.
Trey didn't know what to do. The first hour, he was like, wow, the glory. Horse Silent in the Morning was the only song I had on my pick 5 over on the Blue Sky.
Great pick.
And I didn't cheat and put Horse and Silent in the Morning as too.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. It was so rusty though. It was kind of like a mini train wreck. They just did not have it together for it. The vocals were off. They weren't like jiving with the vocal, and Trey was in the wrong key for a little bit.
Yeah. It was a little. That song is so pretty and beautiful, and that's like the slow Phish that I like. Like that's like Mercy to me. That's Lonely Trip. That is that to me. Like that's what I like. That was what I would take for those. When people are like, "Oh, I love those." No, that's Phish. That's Phish slow to me. Like that's the way it should be. And yeah, it was a little. It kind of went with the show though, don't you think? The way they played that song, it was rough. Kind of like the show was kind of discombobulated, and so it just kind of made sense that it was sort of off like that.
I do horrible over there, Michael, because you know what I do? I take my pick 5 and I try to spell a food associated with the city, like roast or something like that.
You did that today. What did you spell today? I saw that today on it.
It might have been roast today because they have the roast beef sub, the Italian beef or whatever.
Because somebody commented that it was good that you did timber or something without something in front of it, and you're like, well, I needed it.
No, I did bread. I think I did bread today for some reason. I wanted to do pizza, but there's not 2 Z songs. There's Ziggy Stardust, and there is not another Z song.
That's what I was. You know, it's so funny because after I read your thing, I was gonna do something with Z that has Z in it too, and I was like, but dude, I couldn't even think of Ziggy. That's so funny. I was like, I don't think there is any Z songs that I could think of that they would have.
They have one song for every letter. They have a song to cover every letter.
You spelled blues tonight, is what you did, Kev. It was blues. Yes, you did Back on the Train.
Right. Life is great. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you had Saturday in the morning in there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 46 days. Hey, why not?
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the zero. Right. Yeah, it's kind of like the zero at the end of the first set. Like you need it there because you need something. I think somebody on the Discord, I think Mike even said on the Discord, like Golgi would have been perfect there. Like that would have been the call, kind of like a couple in the first set that we tell would have been gotten. But again, solid at 7 minutes. You knew it was going to be shorter because they couldn't expand it out like you usually get. And damn, that song gets played a lot. Like it gets played a lot. So I feel like they know exactly where to play it to time. You know what I mean? Like that's one of those songs that he feels so comfortable with. He can just throw it out anywhere and be like, oh, you know, we can play in this spot 46 days. We have 5 minutes. We have 7 minutes. We have 14 minutes. We have 20 minutes. It fits. Like, so it's the same thing as Numberline. It rips in what it does. And yeah, it was a good way to end this odd show.
Right. I do not think that this is going to be on anyone's top 5 list for the tour.
No, I would agree with that statement. Yes, we have had a lot better shows, even in the last. Well, I mean, everything since Boulder, really, and even Austin. Like, yes, I would definitely say, Kev, I agree with that. And the whole show. Usually, sometimes we're like, this first set was great. Second set had some hits and misses in it, or second set was great. First set was a little weak. This one, kind of all across the board, was
nothing.
A little off. Right. Yeah. Some good stuff in there, but not one you're going to go back and really re-listen to. Any of those, I don't think. Yeah.
Right. We're definitely getting that Ruby Waves tomorrow if they don't do the tweezer.
Saturday, they just did it Sunday though. Do you do it? I really? I think they gotta wait.
You gotta get 2 more tweezers this tour. So there has to be a tweezer this weekend, and there has to be one at SPAC.
So then it's every.
I feel like they get stuck in a rut where every weekend they play tweezer.
They have though. Yes, Boulder, Charleston, and now Chicago. I don't know. I think they skip it. Like, I don't know.
And you get it at Forest Hills because that would tear Forest Hills down, and there's noise. You know,
that's why you do it there. That's why you do it there. You just tear it down, shake the windows of the neighbors like they complain about. Yeah, I think it's too soon for teaser too, Mr. Bungle. That's what I think too. Like 3 weeks in a row. Oof, I don't know. What do you think for tomorrow night, Kev? Besides Ruby Waves, I think it'll be a little bit more solid of a show. I'm expecting.
Right. Everyone keeps talking about Jabu. I saw Michael was talking about it, but I don't know if that's showing up.
I could see that instead of tweezer. We're due for a chalk dust. That should show up instead of a tweezer. I would agree with that. Ocelot. Hey, that hasn't been around. Mm-hmm. I could definitely go to the bathroom during that.
I'm calling a Sparkle. I'm going to call a Sparkle for tomorrow.
That'd be nice.
Because that's a great song. And that way everyone can bitch about it, and I'll be the one defending it. How that'll end up working. All right, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you're watching this later, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Tell us what we got wrong, what we got right. Obviously, we get more right than we get wrong.
I was just going to say, obviously, there's a lot more wrong than there is right, but